絶対優勝するぞー、レイグ。
Well, hello everybody and welcome to Yokohama City. This is the Japan B.LEAGUE Finals, the NISSAY Japan B.LEAGUE Finals. And we're excited to be bringing you the action between Utsunomiya Brex and Chiba Jets. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Josh Bett, and also the former Japanese star KJ Matsui. And we also have numerous colleagues around here in this Yokohama City arena in various languages. That was not us. We're doing it remotely, and here we are again looking at this exciting environment in Yokohama City. Josh Bett, it's been a wild ride to this point of the season, but I don't think there's any question that these two teams deserve to be here. Well, also joining us today is KJ Matsui, the former Japan professional, also played his college basketball in America at Columbia. We're looking forward to KJ's insightful comments. And KJ played professionally here in Japan for, played for Hitachi Sunrockers, Toyota Alvark, Seahorses Mikawa, and Kyoto. And very warm welcome to KJ. Well, there you see the path to the final for both of these teams, Utsunomiya Brex and Chiba Jets. And Chiba Jets, boy, they had a real scare in their last showdown, going up against Ryukyu Golden Kings. But Chiba Jets getting that fantastic shot from that man right there that everybody knows, Yuki Togashi, ended up getting a 4-point play. Josh Duncan has been terrific. And, well, in fact, that was the quarterfinals. And then in the semifinals, this Chiba Jets team just really lowered the boom in that first game against the Ryukyu Golden Kings. You saw the dunks from Gavin Edwards. Co-flipping came out and became a major factor in X Factor. Josh, a lot of interesting developments for this team as they progress through the playoffs to get to this point.
Yeah, of course, Jeff. I mean, we looked at Yuki Togashi. Of course, we've seen him play for the Japanese national team at the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. And for me, he's arguably the best point guard in the B-League. But as you mentioned, co-flipping, really stepping up in that first game. Now, the Ryukyu Golden Kings, they did a good job in game 2. But in the end, Chiba Jets, they proved to everybody that they deserve to be in the final.
まずはこのファイナル意気込みをお聞かせください。
そうですね。本当にこの長いシーズンここに来るためにチームとしてやってきているので、ようやくこの舞台で戦えることもちろん嬉しいですし、しっかり2勝できる準備はできているかなというふうに思います。
この対戦どこがポイントになりますか？
もちろんいろんなところあると思うんですけど、チームとしてはもうリバウンド相手にオフェンスリバウンドを取らせない、そこを徹底したいなと思います。
Well, as you can see or hear anyway, that KJ is not just a great basketball player, former basketball player, but does a pretty good job helping us understand the Japanese. That was a slam dunk, KJ. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, sure.
So we go back and we look at this Utsunomiya team and Ryan Rossiter getting it over to LJ Peak, and this team is a real load. Jeff Gibbs, you can see his power, his girth. What impresses you about this team, Josh, making it this far?
Well, for me right now, of course, you've got a young prospect in Kai Tevz. Now, Kai Tevz is going to be the future of the Japanese backcourt. But again, there's also been a veteran years, as we've seen Utsunomiya, one of the first, well, actually the first ever Japanese player to play in the NBA. But of course, you got Ryan Rossiter as well. Ryan Rossiter is one of those players who can easily have a 30 to 40 point game. He's got a deadly step back for a 6'9" player, and he can definitely turn it up in this final.
So KJ, I know that you've had a chance to watch some of this basketball as well. You know, what do you think about Utsunomiya coming out in this game today, having swept their semifinal and going up against a pretty good Chiba Jets team?
I think they're going to be really defensive pressure. They're going to give a lot of defensive pressure.
まずはこのファイナル、意気込みはいかがですか？
そうですね、チーム全員でここまで積み重ねてきたので、最後2勝できるように、まずは今日、全員で挑みたいと思います。
今回、勝負のポイントはいかがですか？
はい、千葉さんは非常に攻撃力のあるチームですので、自分たちのディフェンスからしっかり入って40分間、自分たちのバスケットをやり通したいと思います。
So back to that point you were making, KJ, about Utsunomiya Brex and Chiba Jets.
Yes, Brex going to be, you know, they have a lot of size, a lot of physicality. They're trying to probably pressure Togashi as much as they can and try to wear him down offensively. That's their strategy. And for Chiba, I think they want to get stops and rebound and try to push and fast pace as much as possible, and hopefully Togashi is going to feel great from the beginning of the game.
Well, you see the roster there for Chiba Jets and co-flipping again the X Factor. Josh Duncan number 1, Tagashi 2, co-flipping number 4, Taguchi number 5. Akahu hasn't played that much in the semifinals. He's also a weapon number 6. You know, you look at Nishimura coming off the bench, number 11 at point guard. Shannon Shorter, boy, we haven't really spoken much about him. He is a weapon. Comes out for the big moments. Takuma Sato, you got to love his defense at number 14. And Fujinaga again coming off the bench, another weapon. Gavin Edwards needs no introduction at 21. Just does a little bit of everything. The naturalized player from America. Seba Sais just has jumping jacks for legs. I mean, he really crashes the offensive boards. He wears number 22. And Shudahara, of course, number 31 for Coach Atsushi Ono. And here, Josh, why don't you run us down some of these players for this Utsunomiya Brex team?
Well, Jeff, the key player to look out for is, as we mentioned, the promising player of Kai Tevz. Now, Kai Tevz, obviously coming from a basketball family, his father being American, mother being Japanese. But, you know, he has been around basketball in Japan for his whole life. He tried to go to America, tried to play in the NCAA system, but no doubt he will be ready for this game. Now, the key player to look out for is that man there. Off a pick and pop, he is going to be very deadly, and that is Ryan Rossiter. Now, Ryan Rossiter, having featured already for Japan at the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, he is one to look out for. And as we already saw at number 40 in the interviews, his contribution is going to be heavily relied on, and that is Utsunomiya. Utsunomiya obviously is one of the primetime players. So it's a mix of youth. We've got a dominant player as well, and we've got some veteran years. It's a very, very tough Utsunomiya Brex team.
Well, I suppose one advantage that these teams have, KJ, is that a lot of these players have played in these big moments before. Do you see an advantage for either team in that respect? I'll throw that one to either KJ or to Josh.
Well, of course, Jeff. I mean, it's a very, very tough matchup, of course, you know. And I think, as you mentioned before, Utsunomiya Brex coming into this game, they've had a very, very easy run in the playoffs. They haven't been challenged, but this is the finals now. And the Chiba Jets, we saw that they're a team that could turn it up one night, it could be a different team the other night. This could be the night that they turn it up and play very, very well, and they could cause a lot of problems. We will find out.
Well, we'll let you enjoy the opening ceremonies as the lights have been lowered here in Yokohama City. Of course, those are the mascots for Chiba Jets on the left and the Brex on the right. Do you know these guys personally, KJ?
I don't know this Kabuki guy, but I know the mascots very well. You know, when I stretch away games, the mascots always try to hang out and then try to make jokes around me. So they're very unique characters, mascots.
They're trying to get you off your game, at least.
Yes, yes.
Mascot, I suppose.
Yeah. That's what I guess every other team's mascots have to do. I guess that's their job.
KJ, feel free whenever you hear something of relevance to let us know.
Okay. He is introducing himself and then very welcome to this arena, but in very, very polite way. The basic language that I don't really use nowadays. And last season, because of COVID, there were no championships. And this is the finals that everyone's waiting for. And I came here to support these two teams in finals. And because of everybody's support, we have this finals at this day. And teams that will face each other are Utsunomiya Brex, that were undefeated in playoffs, championship rounds, and the league's best record. And this is the third time in finals, and this year is the year that they really want to win. Is Chiba Jets.
That's right. Utsunomiya Brex have already won it once. Chiba Jets
Yes.
have not reached the top. Well, certainly the mascots did not seem frightened to be next to him.
So now is the finals going to begin.
Well, this, of course, this is the final. This is the final This opening ceremony is both exciting and, dare I say, almost apocalyptic at times, but it's all on now, folks. I mean, this is exciting stuff here in Yokohama City, and fitting conclusion to what has been a terrific B.LEAGUE campaign, which our friend also commented on the fact that we had to deal with the COVID pandemic. You know, we've had attendance at half. But here's the starters that have been listed for this Chiba Jets team: Josh Duncan, Tagashi, Sato, Ukete. I would like to hear your thoughts about Sato and why he's in the starting lineup at some point.
Okay.
I'm assuming it has something to do with defense. Seba Saiz, we all know about what he does on the boards, but also brings a lot of offense to Spain International. And then, of course, big number 31, Shutahara.
Yes, Sato is a very long, athletic young player that joined Chiba this year. He can defend 1 through 3 positions. So I think he's going to be matched with Endo or other wing players. And also that he's a very good three-point shooter. So he has basically 3 and D, and very, very good fit for Chiba Jets.
Number 9, Yusuke Endo.
Number 5, LJP. Number 9, Yusuke Endo. Number 18 comes out, Seiji Ikaruga. And of course, Ryan Rossiter. Number 40, Josh Scott.
Give it up one more time for
And perhaps in some of the past games, I would have thought that Chiba Jets had quite an advantage, Josh, maybe in the depth department. I don't know that that will be an advantage today against this Brex team.
No, you're right, Jeff. I mean, the size of Utsunomiya Brex is going to be a problem because, as you mentioned, so players LJ Peak and Josh Scott, they like to play very, very physical. Also in that lineup, there's some good shooters in there, as we mentioned, along with Ryan Ross. Now, Makoto Hiyojima, for me, is one of the best shooters in the Japanese league. We've also seen it internationally. So this Utsunomiya Brex team, they can play physical, they can play big, but they can also play very wide. They can stretch the floor, they can shoot the ball very well from the perimeter. We've seen that time and time again.
Well, you just heard him say it's go time as, again, we look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. Tagashi, another player who lives for that big moment. Scott, it's going to be an intriguing matchup down low with both Saiz and Duncan. Well, hello everybody, and welcome once again. This is Game 1 of the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals. Chiba Jets winning that opening tip and attacking the basket to the right. And the first shot goes up, and the first shot is good from Shutahara.
Jeff, you can see already the defense having a lot of problems trying to contain Yuki Togashi. He is going to cause a lot of problems in the backcourt. They've got to figure out how to defend him tonight.
Now the shot from the perimeter, and the attempt from Rossiter was off the back of the iron. Now Tagashi pulls up, doesn't hesitate. How about that? 2 threes to start things off.
That's great stuff for Chiba Jets. They got the start. Togashi is made first shot, and team is really rolling right now.
Rossiter with his second miss. Josh Duncan collects the rebound. comes out. Now he drives in, takes it right to the rim, and right at Josh Scott.
Well, there was a fumble there, Jeff. I mean, Utsunomiya and Brex have to be a lot better. They got to come up with a loose ball because they got to try and get on the break as much as possible. More defense there from the Brex.
Ikaruga banks it in. Finally, hopefully for Utsunomiya fans, that's going to settle them down.
I mean, that's the very good move, and also take advantage of the size and physicality. Ikaruga and Endo's a lot bigger and physical compared to Togashi, so if they attack inside the paint, is likely to score.
But so far, Chiba Jets getting pretty much anything they want. This time, Seba's size. And KJ, I guess from that standpoint, if they're getting looks down low, that is worrisome for the Brex.
Yes, I think so. They got to attack inside, but also they cannot be too passive. Chiba doesn't hesitate to shoot any open shots, so they have to first get some stops.
So Tagashi steps back, passes to Sato. Tagashi again kind of fumbles the basketball right as the shot clock was expiring and has to put up a prayer. So finally a good sequence there, Josh, for Utsunomiya on defense.
Yeah, that's the thing about Utsunomiya and Brex. Sometimes they can play a little bit of a frustration defense towards Chiba Jets. We know that Yuki Togashi is going to try and force everything through himself. So if they can try and frustrate him in the backcourt, they sometimes force him into a bad shot.
Oh, pulling his way down low was LJP and putting his body on Sato.
I thought there was an elbow to the face right here.
Excuse me, not Sato. That was on Shudahara. And well spotted, Josh. I think that one was
That's
missed.
an offensive foul.
And that was not on the shooting foul.
Well, if there's one thing you say about Shudahara, you don't question his toughness, that's for sure, and he's showing it right now. And the miss, size flicks, one of the many rebounds, no doubt, that he's going to get today. Size has been a double machine in points and rebounds for Chiba Jets. Entry pass down low to Size. He kind of fades away, and much better defense from Brex that time.
I think when the Brex switch off with the little guards, the bigs do a very good job staying and not fouling the quicker guards of Jets.
So Josh Scott will go to the free throw line. And he'll be shooting right at the basket here with all those Chiba Jets fans trying to put him off of his shot, which it appears they may have done in that first attempt. So he gets 1 of 2. And Chiba Jets still with a considerable advantage here at the start of the game, nearly 4 minutes in. Trying to lengthen that lead. Duncan gets it over to Sato, wide open. And boy, that was a big-time rebound by Josh Scott. Now quickly, Brex push it, and here's LJP going strong.
Jeff, that's the style that Utsunomiya and Brex need to play. They need to pick up the tempo because, again, they're up against a very high-tempo team. Trying to get in fast break will do them a lot of good here in the early stages.
Size. Oh, boy, has it knocked away from him. Rossiter. And then on the break, and Josh Scott ran the floor well. JJ turning defense to offense.
Yeah, that's what Utsunomiya is supposed to be playing. Very good defense, pressing the ball, bump every time. and then create easy basket. Now right back in the game.
You know, if I've got one issue so far with Chiba Jets, what they're doing so far is save us size, perhaps putting the ball on the deck a little bit too much, maybe forcing things. Here's Tagashi, boy, forcing him into a tough shot as well was Ikaruga. And you can see that the Brex are now wide awake. Rossiter hands it off. Now Pete. And Brex have tied it at 10. Boy, that lead didn't last long.
Well, Jeff,
That was very good.
Ball movement there.
Yes,
Go
ball
ahead, Joe.
movement. Yeah, that was a great ball movement, execution, great rhythm. I think that's what the shot went in because it was team offense.
Size travels and gives it back to the Brex, and really a tough game, a tough start for Sabus Size. He's going to come out of the game, and Gavin Edwards is going to replace him. Rossiter guarded by Edwards. Ikaruga into the paint. Oh, he gets met at the rim by Shannon Shorter, who has also checked into the game. That was a big-time play from Shorter. Sato over to Tagashi. Oh, look at him share the basketball. And Gavin Edwards follows up his own miss. Then he has it knocked out of his hands by Pete. Peak from the left corner, falls down. His attempt goes off the top of the backboard. Now Shannon Shorter and tries to get it up. This is the foul was committed, but they're going to say that was before the shot. And I don't know about you, Josh, but it seems to me that the intensity level of this game is at a very different level to what we saw in the semifinals.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this is the final, as you mentioned. Both teams are going to come bring their A games. But, you know, Jeff, I got to say, the one thing that me and Keijiro spotted in the last play with Utsunomiya Brex, you watch the way Ryan Rossiter plays. Very simple basketball. Set a pick, get it back, but try and find an open shooter. The difference with the Chiba Jets, everything is running through the backcourt. Everything is much isolation basketball. Two teams, two different philosophies.
And this time a little bit of miscommunication, but again, that tough defense meeting Shannon Shorter right as he got into the lane. I'll tell you what, the physicality in this game is obvious. And you might want to think about bringing some body armor to the next one because they are letting them play. Ryan Rossiter out to Pete. And look at that, another example. Gavin Edwards gets up on Pete. And the contact, and he falls out of bounds. No foul was called.
Jeff, why is the screen being set towards the baseline? They got to set it towards the middle. JP's got nowhere to go if he's going to that baseline. They're going to draw him into a double team. Utsunomiya Brex have to get the spacing right on offense.
That's a great point too, Josh. I think the ball screen has to be little to more elbow area to have more space for AJ Peak to go attack.
Step back, Shannon Shorter, and he misses, but what I'm noticing is that the Brex defense is really getting hands up, hands in the faces, not giving away any cheap shots here on their last few possessions, Chiba Jets. Watanabe has come into the game. Uranori Watanabe, number 13, a point guard. He's running the baseline. Also, Kai Tevz is in the game, number 7. But it's another three-pointer, and this time the Brex have taken the lead. And it was Makoto Hiyajima, the Japan international. And I'll tell you what, if they've had a nervous start, it certainly did not knock them out of their stride. They have come back impressively.
It was just one simple ball screen with Jeff and Hiyajima, but Jeff's body is like built like a football player. Like you can see, he is 6'3", 6'2", and very, very wide shoulder. And I played with him in Alvark, and he's one of the best screener in Japan.
Well, Josh, some teams might have been knocked out of their stride, or maybe would have been unsettled by the way that Chiba Jets started, but the Brex have shown us what they're made of here early.
Yeah, Jeff, I mean, the Brex are the first team that I've seen play in the B-League this year. I mean, what I've noticed about them is they're very well balanced at every position. Makoto Hiyajima, arguably one of the best shooting players for the Japanese national team. Not to mention Ryan Rosser, probably one of the best big men. I mean, he had a great duel against, obviously, with the Kawasaki Brave Thunders against Nick Fazekas. But, this is a team that understands their sets. They move the ball. They play for each other. The Chiba Jets, also a very, very good team. But the thing with the Chiba Jets, everything has gone through Yuki Togashi right now. Other players need to get involved.
Coming right out of the timeout, and Josh Duncan has earned a trip to the free throw line, and maybe this is a man that has to get more involved.
Yeah, I think so. Josh Duncan and Togashi pick and pop, pick and roll can be very effective. So he can shoot the shots from the threes, but he can also put the ball down and also get fouled, get in the free throw line, try to get points.
Josh Duncan gets to the free throw line and sinks both to cut it back to a one-point game. Ko Flippin making the early entry into today's game. Really established himself as a key man in this championship for Chiba Jets. Togashi goes out, Nishimura comes into the game, the backup point guard. Here's Hiyajima. Rossiter. Rossiter gets it back! And give the assist to Hironori Watanabe as Rossiter gets another two. Josh Duncan. Wow. Big time Josh Duncan showing up at the party.
Yeah, I think this is what Jets needs to do right now. Yep, pick and pop with Josh Duncan. Like I said, he can put the ball down, and now he got the mid-range jumper.
Great defense from Ko Flippin, really trying to get that shot off. And you see the big fella put the ball on the floor, and that's when you have to be able to get in there like Flippin did and knock it away. Very aware, as was happening when Seba Seiss was putting the ball on the ground at the other end.
Jeff, I'm quite surprised that, of course, Ryan Rosser isn't looking to get his perimeter shot going. I mean, maybe he likes to get those shots going when he knows he has a better defensive matchup, but as we've seen the time and time again, Ryan Rosser has a very, very lethal step-back three-point shot. Again, hasn't been looking to shoot so much here in the early stages.
Kosuke Takeuchi has checked into the game as well for the Brex. Now Gavin Edwards with a little fadeaway. Shorter follows up the basketball, gets it back. Nishimura open for three. Good! Well, with that, 53.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter and timeout as Nishimura. I'll tell you what, I think this is a tough shot as well from Edwards. And this Chiba Jets team, if they can rebound the basketball as well as they have in the postseason, in the championship, especially in the offensive glass, that is going to give them a chance against this very good Utsunomiya Brex team.
Well, that was good for Chiba Jets to come up with that loose ball in that situation because, as you can see, every Chiba Jets came out with that rebound. Utsunomiya Brex defense scrambling. Nishimura left so wide open. They can't allow those wide open shots because, as we saw, Chiba Jets will light it up from the perimeter. But, Jeff, one player I want to mention just came in, Takeuchi. Takeuchi was playing for the Japanese national team in the 2006 World Championship back in the Saitama event, I believe. I mean, this man has been playing a very, very long time. What a veteran player he is. And it's good to see him come in. And just probably one day we'll see him move into that coaching role. What do you think, Keijuro?
Yes, I play with him in Alvag. I also play with him in the national team. He always carried the national team, Japan national team, as a big man before naturalized player came in. He's a very smart player, unselfish, very good teammate, and he can shoot from mid-range and three-point shooter. So I don't know what he's going to do after he retires, but I think he's going to play 4 or 5 more years, I think.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Great career, no doubt, and still waiting for Kai Tevz to put his imprint on the game, number 7. He's not forcing things, he's letting it come to him. Hiyojima, meanwhile, hits it down low to Gibbs. Gibbs, little jump hook in the lane, ties it up. Now flipping with the hand check. Oh, beautiful bounce pass, and Seba's size goes in. Very impressive start for Ko Flippin.
That was a very good move because now Utsunomiya only has 1 foreigner on the court, and Chiba has 3, including naturalized players, so they should attack more inside the paint so they can get more offensive rebound and also get fouled.
And again, Ko Flippin causing problems on the defensive end for the Brex. Shannon Shorter right at the buzzer, and he missed it. It was a good look for Shannon Shorter. But the only thing that we've been able to wean from the start of this first quarter, you have to say it is going to be a hot one, a very hotly contested final between these two teams. Chiba Jets on top, 19-17.
マッチになると思いますので、大矢がいかに頑張れるかになってくるんですが、比江島へナイスです。バック側に決めていきました。ヒカルがボールを運ぶ。いやダックだ。いや素晴らしい。ちょっともう止まらなくなってきましたね。
この時点で34対3。ラックでインサイドという特徴ではないです。そこから多彩な攻撃を繰り広げています。ただその分ゴール下がないところ、これで8得点です。ヒカルがファウルあります。バスケットカウントです。バスケットカウント。急な点数。速いパス出し。デイビスで。細谷からカーター。このパスだ。カーターやってしまった。くるりと回ってダンクシュート。ピーク。
Well, those highlights of Utsunomiya, clearly you get the feeling how they are a powerful team. When they do not have Rossiter on the floor and perhaps Josh Scott, the opposition breathes a sigh of relief because those guys really put pressure on you on both ends of the floor. Second quarter action underway here as Hiyojima inbounds the basketball. Takeuchi gives it off to Watanabe. Watanabe pushed away. Now Nishimura guarding him. Watanabe gets the basketball inside to Gibbs. And Gibbs tried to go under there. Much better defensively for Chiba Jets. Shorter. Ooh. Spinning and Shannon Shorter with an obvious reach and a foul on Hiyajima.
Hiyajima is a very unique player. He uses a lot of fakes, but he's not very fast. He's not very athletic, but he always gets his opponent asleep, and he always finds his way to score. So it's very hard for anybody to guard him.
Iguruga misses, and then flying in for the rebound is Edwards. Bounce pass to Sice right at the elbow. Hiyajima brings it back for the Brex. And this time, another good job defensively. Chiba Jets allows them to break. And Shannon Shorter with a chance for a three-point play.
Jet, they got too casual there on the pick and roll. They just have to pick one side and attack and draw the foul. But, you know, Shannon Shorter, right here, just a little too casual with their dribble, and they turn it over. But, Jeff, Shannon Shorter, the style he plays with that mid-range, the sort of off-the-dribble shot, reminds me of Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. Just very effective, but very efficient as well.
Going way, way back, Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. 3 decades. I think that was before Kachota was born.
It's before I was born.
So.
I think my parents used to call me a bad boy as well. I always got called a bad boy when I was a kid.
The microwave. Well, here we go. Brex now down by 7 points. Scott, great Scott, and lays it up and in. Size didn't stay on his feet. Coach Flippin, we've seen him do it defensively in this game, and here he is offensively. There's Size following up the miss. And I'll tell you what, he's having to work hard, but we're still seeing what Size brings to this team.
Yeah, that was against Josh Scott, but he just physical and it had a good position to get rebound.
Scott hands it off to Hiyajima, a little give and go action. And the ball knocked away from Josh Scott, who holds his head like he was walloped. Now Coach Flippin bumped by that man right there, Hiyajima.
I see that both teams trying to stop any transition points. So if they want to use foul, they got to use it to prevent easy points.
Rossiter comes back in. Of course, huge year, and now Size going up and being met by Rossiter. Well, a little bit of frustration over there on that Brex bench. They've come back already once, but now Chiba Jets have gone back in front. LJ peek into Rossiter. Edwards guarding Rossiter, peek back to Rossiter. Ikaruga, and another good defensive stand. Now Shorter passes quickly up to Nishimura. Wide open. Now this gives a chance for the Brex to run. Uh-oh, don't get in Peek's way. Oh, and Nishimura reaches in but commits the foul.
Well, Jeff, on the last offense that Utsunomiya Brex had, they went a pick and roll sequence with Ryan Rossi. I mean, he was wide open down the middle, but they didn't get the ball to him. And I can see he's getting a little bit frustrated because they've got to get the ball to him in spots where he's going to be dangerous right now. One thing Utsunomiya Brex can do themselves a lot of favor, try and get the Chiba Jets into the penalty and try and get to the free throw line a lot more. I mean, they're down by 7. It's the biggest deficit it's been so far here in the first half.
He makes the first. You can see there was no doubt about it on the foul. He really got him good. Raking across his left arm. The Peek just takes the punishment, goes to the free throw line, and makes both. Duncan back in the basketball game. Right at the elbow now, Shorter. Bounce pass to Duncan. And Duncan. Boy, that was some nice hang time by Josh Duncan. Looked like he was going to pass it. Ended up taking the shot.
Yeah, he didn't rush through anything. He see the defender and he gave the little floater.
35 years of age, still playing exceptionally well, Josh Duncan. And Ikaruga misses. Edwards chases down the rebound. Shorter. Edwards passes up the three. And now, I believe, 3 seconds violation. Hands it back off to the Brex.
So this is the style that Chiba Jets want to play. They want to isolate players. You got Shannon Shorter, Josh Duncan, but again, Utsunomiya Brex are a very, very good man-to-man defensive team. You got to put a bit more sets in there, maybe a few pick and rolls. You got to wear them down a bit better than that.
Here's Ikaruga, and off the front of the rim.
I think for Brex, Japanese player has to score more points to release more attention for the foreigners and Ryan Rossiter. If they can shoot and make some shots, it's going to be a lot more easier.
Ikaruga called for the foul on Edwards. Yeah, we saw Nishimura come out for Chiba Jets, hit the three. We've seen Ko Flippin come in and present some danger. Hiyajima comes back into the game for the Brex. Nishimura up top, off to Shorter. Oh boy, nice little cross into the lane. He just makes so many big plays. Very difficult to contend. He's fearless.
Jeff, the problem that the Brex have on defense is that when Shannon Shorter has the ball, because he's such an effective isolation player, any penetration he makes into the key, normally other teams will collapse in the help side, which will lead to a wide open shooter. You can see Utsunomiya and Brex not over-helping right now, but that leaves a bigger problem for them. They have to contain Shannon Shorter, not allow him to break the defense down.
Well, the free throws take it up to a 30-21 lead. And really, the Brex not coming up with many answers right now. Scott comes up for the high pick. They pass the ball around. Operating out on the perimeter right now. And now the penetration and the drive and Endo. And exactly what you're talking about, Tejuro.
Yep.
Somebody has to step up of the Japanese players, and this time it was Endo.
Yep, Endo can be a very good three-point shooter, but the hesitation that made Shannon Shorter go back to his man gave more space in the middle, and that was a great finish. And one.
So with 4:43 remaining.
残りは5秒。最後のシュートは誰でいくか。田中がシュートは決めてきた。0.5秒で決めてきました。倒されながらのダンクショット。残り6秒。アレンが来る。ブラックショット。古川が行く。古川のスリー。これは決まった。劇的な幕切れでしたね。
Tell you what, there's nothing quite like a buzzer beater, KJ. Did you hit any?
Not recently. But I made big shots down the stretch to close the game. But the buzzer beater always feels good. That the moment that when you threw the ball and everybody is so quiet, silent, and when the ball goes in, the crowd just go crazy. that's the moment that every player, I guess, wants.
Well, what this Chiba Jets team wants is a first B-League title, and they have certainly given themselves a good platform to build on here in the finals, going up against this powerful Brex team with the early lead. But there is a long way to go as Endo tries to complete the three-point play. And he does. Nishimura still in the game. Interesting, Tagashi getting a lot of time on the bench right now. Resting up perhaps for the second half.
Wow, good
down
pass.
low to Size. Yep. Pete came over to help out. Well, that was an excellent pass by Nishimura and just a tremendous catch as well by Size.
Yeah, when the pick and roll happens, there's a mismatch. There are a lot of rotations going on, and Nishimura definitely missed the chance, and he threw right on the dime.
So Spain international Size goes to the line and makes the first. However, uncharacteristically, misses the second, goes off the back of the iron. 7-point lead for the Chiba Jets against the Brex. Hyejima, only red shirts there for the rebound.
That's a good look for him, Jeff, because it won't be long till Makoto Hyejima starts to light it up from the perimeter.
Size and spinning, turning, and is that a travel?
I think he took a couple of steps there on that one, but that was definitely not a Euro step, that's for sure.
So the Brex trying to cut into this deficit here at the end of the first half. Rossiter.
Oh, good move.
Passes it out.
Great repost.
Right.
What I love about that play is he got the ball the first time, didn't like the position, threw it back out, and then he fought for even stronger position. And that's just why Ryan Ross is such a good player.
Shudahara gets in the lane. Look at Edwards. Boy, he is getting after it on the glass. Rossiter chases down the basketball, though. And almost loses it. Bends over, picks it up, and he gets it to Scott for a wide open dunk.
I think Gavin Edwards was a little complaining to the ref, was a foul, and he wasn't really focused on getting back on defense. And then Ryan Rossiter and Brex took advantage of it.
Yeah, you see it so many times, don't you? A player wants a foul, he talks to the referee. Meanwhile, the other team is getting down the floor. And really the message has been sent early on in this game that they are letting him play. Here's Rossiter, a good job spotting his teammate.
I mean, this is the B-League Finals. There's no time for complaining to the ref and not giving any easy points to the opponent. And Brex is really focused, even though they were down, but they're not really like rushing anything because they know how to win a championship 4 years ago. So Ryan knows it too.
But KJ, you like the fact that they're letting them play, right? I mean,
Yes.
There's nothing worse than seeing the games constantly stopped by players questioning the referees.
Yes, and also both teams wants to play really physical defense, and not cheapy foul. They're not going to call that. They want to let the game play and players play. And at the end, everybody wants to see the stars play.
Okay, coming out of the timeout, Nishimura remains in the game with Tagashi on the bench. Edwards comes up high. Now Shorter, and Shorter's bounce pass, well, not sure that was the right idea. Rossiter gets in! It's a 1-point game. That's always worrisome when you call a timeout and then coming right out, you don't execute on offense. Shorter over to Nishimura for open three. Edwards battling away. Size comes down with it. Shutahara open. And again, Edwards. And boy, they have called a foul on Josh Scott. Boxing out. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Well, he's underneath him on that one, Jeff. Right there. As you can see, Edwards goes up. Scott's just underneath him. Just there. Now, the thing is, it's the positioning on the offense. If you get into a good position and you jump in the air and the defense is below you, you always give the official a 50-50. But I'm with you guys on this one. You want to let the players play, keep the physicality in the game.
So another timeout with 2:18 remaining in the first half. And Brex, who have had a couple of comebacks already, and certainly confirming they are not going to be a team that's going to be put away quietly. They are tough.
And also the very interesting point this season is you had to win 2 games to become a champion. So this is not one and done. But to get a first win is more comfortable for a team to become a champion. So this first game is really important for both teams.
It's a vital game. One thing that struck me, and I think Josh as well, is that, you know, you're playing a lot of games. And you're going to turn it around and play it again tomorrow here in Yokohama City. They'd have the advantage of not traveling, and but then they'd have a day off in between. But, you know, there's a lot of games. That, you know, does fatigue become a factor at all on that, do you think, KJ?
I mean, yeah, fatigue is a little bit going to be an issue, especially if they play a third game. So the bench players, the team collectively has to manage the time-wise. But as you know, player, if you want to win championship, the fatigue is not going to be an issue when the game's on the line.
Edwards gets the first to drop, but not the second. So the Brex can tie it or take the lead on this possession.
Chiba is playing zone defense.
The baseline. So Scott ties it at 32. Shutahara open in the right corner. Tagashi back in the game, over to Shorter. Steps into an open three, long. And now Utsunomiya Brex have a chance to take the lead. 3-point shot, good! That's exactly what they do. What a run. And it was Endo, again, providing the points.
That was just too easy. Ball screen, and Hara didn't go over the screen. Gave Endo a wide open look.
Now Tagashi. Oh, terrific work on the boards from Seba's size.
Just confused why the Chiba Jets would play a 2-3 zone against a team that can shoot the ball very well from the perimeter. I mean, well, now it looks like they've gone to a higher 3-2 zone, I guess.
Shot clock down to 7 to get it to Rossiter. Rossiter gets it back, puts it up. And Sice starting to assert himself on the glass. Gets it off to Tagashi.
Wow, good pass.
Oh, Shudahara. The Tagashi factor.
That was great defense, rebound, transition. Everything was great.
Miyajima over to Rossiter, the reach and the foul on Tagashi. Well, they had a foul to give, so no free throws for the Brex. Well, now Tagashi goes out, and Raita Akaho comes in. Just on Tagashi to pick up a foul. Rossiter defends, takes a very difficult shot, and Sias with almost a not in my house from a long way away. Rossiter complaining that somebody went up and hit the net, I believe. But nevertheless, at halftime, it's Chiba Jets on top, 36-35. Hey, who are those guys? Well, what a first half it's been. Keijuro Matsui, KJ, and Josh Bitt. You know, we knew the intensity level would probably go up. It has. The physicality has gone up. And I thought that was an important finish to that first half as well, KJ, from Chiba, because it looked like the Brex were starting to get to grips with things.
Yeah, I think so. When Togashi came in, they played 2-3 zone to try to change the rhythm a little bit. Even though Jets was up a little bit, Brex came down and hit threes and came back. But it's good that nobody is foul trouble in Chiba Jets, and they go halftime with 1 point lead. So I think second half you'll see a lot of maybe 2-3 zone, man-to-man, change of defense to change the rhythm. And hopefully it's going to be a close game like in first half.
And Josh, do you think, can you get a feel for this game one? You know, have Chiba Jets let an opportunity go a little bit by twice opening up leads of about 7, 8, 9 points?
Well, we saw that in the playoff semifinal against the Ryoko Golden Kings, of course. I mean, look, they take leads, but then, of course, they get very lackadaisical. They take their foot off the pedal, and then, of course, the teams come back into it. I think we're going to see the same in this series. But one thing the Chiba Jets can have on their favor is Seba Size. Now, Seba Size, for me, goes after every second chance. He goes after every offensive rebound. If he can control that stat, he can definitely give the Chiba Jets a good chance. But for me, the kind of player Yuki Togashi is, we get two kinds of players. We know that he is a fantastic basketball player, arguably the best point guard for the Japanese national team. But when he becomes a dominant facilitator for the Chiba Jets, they become a much more efficient team.
Four of those on the offensive glass, and really the only man that's matched him in that sense has been Scott, although he only has 4 rebounds. This Brex team, though, what do you think really makes them effective, KJ, their ability to play from behind and to get back into these games?
Like I said from the beginning, the defense and you know, the Chiba Jets is really focused on not getting Brex to get offensive rebounds. So like I mentioned in the halftime too, but Japanese player has to step up, not just rely on Ryan to create offense, be a facilitator, but like Hiejima, like Endo, those guys need to step up and make shots to get back in the game.
And Josh, you talked about Kai Tevz needing to be a big factor today, and he really has not made an imprint on this game yet.
Yeah, the young fellow, this is a new experience for him. I mean, this is his first time, I believe, playing in a B-League final. Of course, there's a lot of expectation on him, but he has to learn how to accept that expectations and learn how to play through it. I think right now the best thing he can do is try and control the tempo in the backcourt, not try to overdo it too much. We can see a few times he's turned it over, but again, I think that's the inexperience. But no doubt in my mind, Kai Tevz is going to be one hell of a player for the Japanese national team in the future to come.
Well, as you can see, it's at halftime. We're bringing you the action from Yokohama City, the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Championship Finals, and Chiba Jets chasing their first B.LEAGUE title against Utsunomiya Brex, the winners of the first one and it's Chiba Jets on top, 36-35. And we're going to be right back. And I'm going to throw you now to be able to watch the weekly meet B.LEAGUE, the Okinawa Arena, and from that, the B.LEAGUE Asian players. So keep an eye on this, and we'll be right back.
Let's go on to the next segment of the show. Here, we'll be introducing the not well-known attractions of the B.LEAGUE to the viewers. It's called What's Up B.LEAGUE? For the 10th time, it's Point 10, Okinawa Arena. The recently completed Okinawa Arena is the future of B.LEAGUE. With maximum capacity of 10,000 people, it is the first arena designed for sports entertainment in Japan, such as seat placement, massive screen, luxury rooms, VIP lounge, and more. It is built for the spectators, and it's a place where you can experience something out of ordinary. Let's take a look at the first B.LEAGUE game that took place in the Okinawa Arena. Okay, wow, it looks so nice. This is the Okinawa Arena, brand new. Okay, this is the VIP lounge. Whoa, look at the view. Oh my god. So awesome. And the screen is huge. Man, is this an NBA arena? Okay, this is it. This is the 4D replay system. First ever to be introduced in the arena in Japan. And there is 64K cameras in the arena. That enables to have a replay like this. This is so awesome. Look at this replay. A hometown native, Kishimoto of Ryukyu Golden Kings, said after the game, "The atmosphere of this arena brings out better plays for both teams. I felt that this game was an important first step that will lead to the improvement of not only B.LEAGUE, but the entire Japan basketball. The Ryukyu players should be excited to play here as well, having this amazing arena as their home." Let me introduce some of the fans' voices, like, "I don't feel like this is Japan. I'm speechlessly impressed. The view was awesome from any seats in the arena. I am pretty convinced that there will be more and more kids that will dream of playing here in the future." B.LEAGUE consider these arenas that values the environment of the spectators very important, and facilities like Okinawa Arena will be standard requirements of criteria for the new B1 license in the future. Starting with Okinawa Arena, next dream facilities are planned to be constructed all over Japan. We hope that with many more arenas utilizing the regional characteristics being built, the situation surrounding basketball will push up to the next level in Japan. And last but not least, Okinawa Arena is scheduled to be used in FIBA World Cup 2023. We will welcome you all if you have a chance to visit here and watch the game. And let's go on to the next segment of the show. Here we will be explaining and introducing to the viewers attractions of the B.LEAGUE that are not well known yet, called What's Up B.LEAGUE? Point 2. Asian player quotas. It's a new rule started from this season. Each team will be able to sign with one player from China, Chinese Taipei, Indonesia, Philippines, or Korea, and they do not count as the foreign player quotas. There are two main reasons. Number one, improving the competitiveness of the B.LEAGUE. It increases the opportunities to play against great players in Asia on a daily basis, and also to deal with excessive playing time of foreign players. Number two, business standpoint. It enables the league to explore the Asia market, sponsorships, and broadcasting rights. There are currently 3 players playing under Asian player quotas. Jin Liu from China, playing for Utsunomiya Storks. Jaemin Yang from Korea, playing for Shinshu Brave Warriors. And 30 Ravenna from Philippines, playing for San Neo Phoenix, who have made a major impact on league's Asian market strategies. I heard some rumors that more and more players are coming. Who do you want next?
is the halftime score. Chiba Jets on top of Utsunomiya Brex here in the finals, and I suppose really it's what we expected. A very tough physical game, pretty low scoring game to this point. Defense has been intense, and I guess it'll be more of the same in the second half. What do you think about that, KJ?
Yes, I think second half is going to be more defensive game, but the beginning of the third quarter, like the first quarter, like Chiba jump on Brex in the beginning, so Brex has to, get some stops and not let Chiba get in the rhythm.
Josh, usually when Chiba Jets out-rebound their opponents, it bodes well for their fortunes. Right now, they are winning the rebounding battle, as we saw from those statistics. 20 rebounds in all, 8 on the offensive glass, although they're only up by 1.
Yeah, Jeff, I think we're going to see momentum waves here in the second half. I think we're going to see one team get off to a very, very good start, build a little lead, could be between 5 and 10 points. But then either one of them will come back. And we've seen that a lot with these two teams. However, we haven't seen that with Utsunomiya Brex in the playoffs. They've comfortably got their way into the final. This is probably the first time they've been really challenged.
Second half action now underway here in Yokohama City in the finals, and Shurahara tries to get things rolling with a drive, but he misses. And now Endo, and then they get it down low to Scott, and the Brex move back in front.
Well, that starts with Ryan Ross. I mean, just the vision of how to place a pass and just identify an open player. Much credit. He does not get enough credit for being a great facilitator for a big man.
The dump to Duncan. I don't know about you, but I could hear that foul a long way away from the arena. That was a hack. So Josh Duncan goes back to the free throw line where he went earlier. Made both of his attempts. As a team, Chiba Jets 7 of 9 at the free throw line today. Duncan, power forward. Ties it with his first attempt. And gets the second one to drop as well. And Hiyajima, early introduction here. So Tensai bringing him back into the game. What do you make of that?
I mean, Peak has 3 fouls, and the game is still a close game, so I think Anzai wants him to be, playing fourth quarter, so he's trying to save him. And Hiyajima's played really good in the first half.
So after the free throws, Chiba Jets get it back. Sato over the size now. Size. Oh boy, drills that soft touch. Looked much better that time. I don't like it when size fades away. I like it when he's set or when he's attacking, going to the basket. Endo. Boy, that was a good attempt at the offensive glass, at the offensive rebound by Rossiter, but he couldn't hold on to the basketball.
Well, Jeff, defensively, they've taken him out of his inside game today. They're really making him work for everything. But what Ryan Rossiter needs to do in this game is set a lot of picks, but has to decide whether he wants to pop out or go to the basket, and he's got to make decisions a lot quicker in this game.
And now Endo called for the reach. really is tough to say to get a feel. Neither team has been able to take control in this game. At times, you feel like Chiba Jets is starting to get on top, only for the Brex to come back. But right now, it seems like a better start to the second half for Chiba Jets, and they're getting a lot of opportunities for size. That time, the foul called on Hiyajima. That's his second. Oh boy, the ball thrown right into the hands by Sato, into the hands of Rossiter. And then the turnover, cheaply, leads to a break, and Chudahara drives all the way in. So both
He's
teams
very
making
good
big
at
plays
going
on
left.
defense.
Yep, so when he goes left, you know, he's most likely going to make shots. And he knows Josh Scott is coming, so he tried to use the rim to protect it.
Jeff, I love how the Chiba Jets are able to turn a fast break point after a good defensive stop there. But again, Ryan Russell, here's a pick and roll. It's got to be a lot quicker. Make that decision.
Endo drives in, crashing the boards. Rossiter not able to score with the putback. They'll keep it at this end. Ikaruga inbounds the basketball to Hiyajima, who's closely guarded by Sato. Now Rossiter. Ikaruga goes right in and is swatted by Sides, gets it back, misses everything. With Sides is causing problems now on both ends of the floor. Sato forced to pick up his dribble. And then the good defense extended by Brex forces Tagashi to step out of bounds.
Great ballman defense right there. If you don't go anywhere, you shouldn't just dribble right in front of the guy and then pick up the ball.
Rossiter to the corner. Hiyajima. Oh, looked like it was going down and it popped out.
No Brex players going for an offensive rebound. Right now, they got to try to serve themselves this game in a better way to go for those second chance points.
Josh Duncan. And Josh Duncan called for the charge. Brex able to get position. The referees decided to have a look at it. Yeah, excellent call, I thought.
That's a charge.
Co-flipping, Gavin Edwards back into the game. Also Shannon Shorter. It really does feel like with Edwards especially and Shorter being able to come into the game, those guys are game winners. I mean, it is addition by subtraction in a way. You lose a player like Duncan, but then you bring in them. Boy, it's a different story altogether. Rossiter and doesn't like the referee's call here.
Now referees is a little bit of calling fouls compared to the first half.
They must have heard that we were saying they were letting them play, being physical. Here we go. 4 minutes now into the second half. Shorter over the sides. Boy, he's feeling confident if he takes that. And coming over the back was Scott. Here again. And, you know, I would suggest that's also calling that one tight. Endo goes out of the game. Tenzai needs to kind of make a change in the momentum here. He brings in Jeff Gibbs.
That's a very, very big lineup. They got 3 basically power forwards on the floor.
So that is.
Kichiro, I've noticed that Japanese teams do go with very, very big lineups. So what do you make of that in today's game, where it's more about small ball? You see all the international basketball.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like a trend of nowadays is very small basketball, a lot of 3-pointers, a lot of like ball movement, all that stuff. But I think they want to try to get mismatched within the 3 foreigners and post up, maybe create this advantage. And now they play zone.
Well, Rossiter makes the move and a foul called on co-flipping. Look, Rossiter was close to a travel there. Co-flipping his second foul in the game. Rossiter makes the first. Josh, you were alluding to the fact that this Chiba Jets team has taken Ryan Rossiter out of what he wants to do. So I guess there's a fine line of being aggressive and going for his points, and also letting the game come to him.
Absolutely, Jeff, but I'm very surprised that Ryan Rossiter really hasn't done a lot of pick and pops in the perimeter. I mean, the games I've seen him play, he's one of the most efficient and very much lethal 3-point shooters. But again, great players at some point, they always step it up. Maybe that could be here in the second half.
Well, his free throws make it a 4-point game. Schroeder, meanwhile, oh boy, misses the layup. And then Edwards was there for the putback, but fumbled the ball out of bounds. And once again, even though Chiba Jets have really had the better of the running here in the second half, they're only up by 4 points. And now Gibbs bringing the basketball up the floor. Rossiter steps back and doesn't get it to go, but there was Scott. And Gavin Edwards this time called for the foul. They've got to do more of that. They have got to take some responsibility in that offensive glass to get some more opportunities, but certainly when you're trailing, you don't want to see your team miss free throws. He does get the second. Back to a 3-point game. Now a little bit of a mismatch. Rossiter on Tagashi. But then they switch back. Rossiter is getting shorter. Shot clock down to 5. Goes behind his back. Puts it up from the top of the key. Misses badly. Goes flipping. Kept it alive, but the ball goes out of bounds. And back over to the Brex.
Okay, Chiro, you made a great point in the first half that Utsunomiya and Brex, they can afford to switch with big players on little players. Now you can see they just forced Shannon Shorter into a very, very tough shot.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. And on the other side, when Utsunomiya has 3 bigs, they don't have a lethal 3-point shooter, so they just play zone to pack inside, and then let them get the rebound and then push. So Utsunomiya wants to bully ball inside, but Chiba Jets on the other hand wants to play inside.
So just Gibbs fouled by Shorter and makes the first. Really is a defensive battle today, low scoring. Chiba Jets on top, 43-41 after that miss. And just keeping an eye on Sai, he now has 10 rebounds to go with his 11 points. So Mr. Double-Double has lived up to his name already. And the three-point shot, and he is fouled, Tagashi. So 3 free throws for the Japan national team point guard.
I think this is the first time I see Togashi actually shooting the ball really aggressive in second half. I mean, he was really quiet in first 3-4 minutes. So I want to see these 3 free throws, and after that, how he's going to play.
He makes the first. It's one of those situations, KJ, where, again, you want to get a hand in the face, but you simply cannot foul the three-point shooter. You're just giving away points, although he's not going to punish them completely.
Oh, yes. I mean, shooting three-point shooter is, you can't do it. Coach always said, don't foul the shooter all the time. Contest, but not foul.
Well, Tagashi makes 2 out of the 3. It's back to a 45-41 lead for Chiba. Interesting, they have Shorter now guarding Rossiter. Three-point shot from Iijima, and Saiz with another rebound. Tagashi, open floor, and decides to hold it up. Able to get rid of the basketball before he falls down. And Tagashi with a little floater. I'm not sure if that was his basket or Edwards with the tap in, but whatever. The basketball went in, and here we are once again. Chiba Jets moving up by several points and forcing the timeout for Utsunomiya.
Jeff, Yuki Togashi just plays a different tempo. I mean, there's not many players, I think, in the continent of Asia or even international basketball that can cope with the speed of Yuki Togashi. But again, they force him into a tough shot, but then Utsunomiya Brex, they didn't do the next part, which is box out. And that is going to be where the Chiba Jets, as they go for every second chance, could punish Utsunomiya Brex.
Well, in many ways, it's been a chess match. And right now, the piece that's being played is that man right there, Tagashi. But again, the rebounding is consistently a problem for opponents of the Chiba Jets. Chiba, in this game, out-rebounding Brex 29-20. And a lot of those rebounds coming on the offensive glass, as we just saw with that putback by Gavin Edwards. KJ, what makes this Chiba Jets team so effective on the offensive glass? Because this
Gavin
is not a small team.
No, not at all. Utsunomiya is a really good offensive rebounding team, but on the other hand, they kind of rely on bigs to rebound on defensive end. So I guess the Japanese guy needs to box out and help rebound the bigs, because Chiba is crushing every time, and Gavin and Saiz are very mobile, long arm, very good sense of where the ball is going to drop, and they're kind of killing this whole game.
Autonomy back in the game, and LJ misses, and Saiz with yet another rebound for Chiba Jets. He's got 12 boards. Now he catches the pass, and I'm not sure. I think that was going in. Probably the points for Saiz. Tagashi collects the assist. And it looks like Chiba Jets starting to hit the runway.
Well, it's definitely going in, but again, you can just see going after every second chance. This is where the Chiba Jets will kill you.
Gibbs rejected. Edwards. Shudahara gets on the hardwood. Now both teams scrapping away for the basketball.
Jeff, that play right there, both coaches will be so happy with their players. The ball's on the floor, and you just see bodies flying everywhere. This is the final. This is what it means to be in the final. Both these two teams want to win, and again, it's just a hustle, the tenacity, and the desire. Look at that, everybody just fighting for that rock.
And this is very crucial possession right here. Down, 8 points. Utsunomiya, 2 minutes to go. if they can score right here, they can really change the, maybe momentum. So this possession right here is very important.
Well, Endo misses from the right on the baseline, and Chiba Jets already up by 8 points. Shorter passes back outside to Edwards. Oh, he missed that one badly. Endo, bumped by Tagashi, hands it off to Gibbs, who's just been rejected by Gavin Edwards. Gavin Edwards, and look at that, worried about having the shot blocked, put up a quick one.
Well, Gibbs is trying to post him up. Gibbs is trying to get him on the perimeter and beat him with speed. I mean, he's never going to back him down the low block. I mean, that's a tough, tough play.
Tagashi misses, but there's Edwards, and he was fouled by Gibbs on the putback.
Like I said before, like one-on-one matchup is not working this game. I think Peak was right behind Gavin Edwards. He needs to pinch with Gibbs to prevent Gavin Edwards to get a rebound. He was kind of standing there and trying to jump out him, out-jump him, but it didn't work out.
So Edwards makes the first. The lead goes to 9 points, and Brex is totally out of sorts right now, especially on the offensive end. And Edwards makes the second as well. Biggest lead of the game to Chiba Jets, 51-41 here in Game 1 of the finals. Shooting it from the right, and Endo this time does hit the three. That was huge. Just felt like Brex were on the ropes. They needed something. Shorter. Oh, beautiful handoff.
Great pass.
It's just too easy coming off the screen. Nobody comes out to stop short of it. Again, the roller, no help side defense. Brex need to pick up their defense. It's too easy right now for the Jets.
Watanabe has the ball knocked away. Tagashi gets it to size. He's going to
down time.
Shorter lays it up and in. He goes old school on us.
He's old school.
I think you heard me say throw down. He went for the layup.
Chiba Jets now in command here against the Brex. And Watanabe hits a badly needed jump shot. Now let's see if Brex can force a turnover and get another shot. No, it's going to be Edwards going hard to the rim and quickly. Boy, that attempt grazed the net. That would have been something else that could have gone in. But the third quarter owned by that team right there in red. They lead it 46 over Utsunomiya at the end of 3.
Well, if I'm the Utsunomiya Brex coach.
Togashi が行って最後はギャビン・エドワーズ最後の最後決めきりました千葉ジェッツ見えてました、はい、スピードでかわすことはできなかったというところだこれでワールドカップ3ポイントが決まりましたこれが素晴らしい富樫さすがのこのシュート精度がありました
いやもうね今完全に時間もね、見ながらからね、いやさすがです。
そしてまた決まるところが役者だなという感じがありますが、もう
ショータンだし葛原がついていますが193センチ、あっとここでアリウープパス、サイズが決めるホエル。
さあサイズどうする富樫、あと3秒だ。富樫、長吉がついている。富樫のフローター、ブザービーターで決めた。これタイムアウトですけど分かってますよね。
そし
して最後はブザービートで富樫が決めたという前半です。
パラシューター、どうかな、間に合ったか、どうかな、結構ギリギリでしたけどよく決めましたね。
よく決めました。
最後はパラシューター見事なスリーポイントを沈めました。これで前半が終わりました。29対38、アウェーの千葉ジェッツリードで前半が終了しています。というのが出てこなかった川崎、一方で千葉はこの最後パラシューターからの
スリーポイントはこれ大きかったですね。
ここは一つフェイクを入れて、このパスが通ってきました。グラですが体は大丈夫か。場内大いに
Well, back to live action, and Chiba Jets have started off with a long one to go up by 14 points. They have definitely got the wind in their sails right now. Brex looking to do something, anything to change things around. The spin move by Rossiter, but Scott there for the follow.
Well, that's exactly what the Brex needs. Someone just to follow up for a missed shot there. But again, a tough move there by Ryan Russell. Something else the Brex needs, a little bit more attacking of the basket.
And the name of the game has been Edwards and size for the Chiba Jets team, but this time Scott reaches in, takes the basketball away. Endo fouled in the backcourt by Nishimura.
Jeff, one point I wanted to make at the end of the third quarter. If I was the Utsunomiya Brex coaching staff, I would have been infuriated with my team, because you saw at the final few seconds they got a good shot, but just how quickly Chiba Jets were able to inbound the basket and get it up the court. Nobody stepped out to take a charge. This is the final, but you need to play a little bit more aggressively than that.
He hands it off, and that's a little acrobatic attempt at the basket. Doesn't go in. They're going to keep it down at this end, folks. The attendance for today's game, by the way, 4,678, so that's half that's allowed because of the coronavirus pandemic. But you would think that it's a full capacity with the noise that's being generated here in Yokohama City.
And I know these two teams went to the finals before and experienced this Yokohama arena, but you know they're not used to playing this big arena during the season. So the rim is different, you know, how the environment is different, the crowd is different, and the adrenaline is up. So I know these two teams can shoot better than today's game. But I think I see a very good game.
Well, Josh Scott suddenly emerging. We saw him get an offensive rebound and put back. Then he made a steal, and here he is getting another layup just to kind of breathe some life into the Brex challenge and forcing a timeout by Chiba Jets. So we talk about what has been the success, what has brought the success for Chiba Jets, and really Edwards and Sice, especially in the second half. They've been terrific, but they have combined for 23 of their team's 35 rebounds, and many of those rebounds coming on the offensive glass. But the good news for Brex is there is a long way to go in this game.
Yep, the game is not over. They're only down 10 points and 8 minutes to go. And Brex just scored two in a row, 2 possessions in a row. So if they can get stops and score, right back in the game and give more pressure on Chiba Jets.
Well, we talk about Josh Scott, and he now has 16 points and 6 rebounds. He's 7 of 9 from the floor. He's just had a couple of baskets for the Brex. Different look defensively. A bit of a trap. Now Chudahara attacks, and he gets blocked. Much more aggressive, but they do not get the basketball. Finally, those size misses, and Rossiter rebounds and runs. Hands it off to Peak. And coming out, wow.
That's a
Rossiter
tough one, that
called
is.
for the moving screen.
I know Ryan Rossiter really likes to push the ball in transition, especially when he gets a rebound, but I think right now he'll do his team a lot of favors if he can get into an outlet and sprint the fast break as a trailer. At the moment, it does seem like it's slowing down the fast break basketball of the Utsunomiya Brex.
Flippin, meanwhile, hands it off. Gavin Edwards. Well, huge swing there after the turnover, going down, and Chiba Jets going back up by 12 points. And now just an absolute gift, an unforced turnover.
I think right now Brex needs someone to step up. They need somebody to really be, say, hey, we still got time, relax, and make a good play. But everybody's rushing right now, seems like.
Well, that's what playing Chiba Jets will do to you. They will put you under pressure. Step back shorter. And I guess it could be a worse situation for them, obviously, if that shot falls. Now Nishimura comes out and bumps Pete.
That's very interesting what you said, K-Jura, because Utsunomiya Brex are rushing things. If you think the way they play, the style that they play, it's very patient, the ball moves. And at the moment, they're being punched in the face. They are being tested. Question is, 7 minutes left. Can they keep up with that patient style to get them back into this game?
Yeah, I think Ryan Rossiter is the one who needs to, shoot the ball more. I think he'd be really more facilitator, creating shots for teammates. But he needs to lead the team and then carry the team, I guess.
Fourth foul, Nishimura sends Ikaruga to the line. I think if you're Brex, you're right, Kajura, it's a matter of, hey, we're okay. We've got more than 7 minutes remaining. We're down 11. Let's play our game. But on the other hand, the reality, looking at it from the side, is, boy, it is going to be tough to come back against this Chiba Jets team again. The way they have been getting after the basketball on the glass. Flippin, meanwhile, drives in and banks it in.
Well, Jeff, I was just about to ask you, is it co-time right now?
Basketball goes out of bounds.
I think Chiba's up, but they're not satisfied with 11-point lead, and then they're the one that's more aggressive and attacking the basket, and everyone is confident of playing basketball, I think. Utsunomiya is kind of like, oh, we down 10, 11 points. Somebody needs to step up, but they don't seem like they have a confidence or swagger that they are the league record holder,
Well, timeout on the court. Worrying times for the Brex. 13 points, the lead for Chiba Jets. And are you surprised at the impact that Flippin has been able to make in these finals? Or rather in the championship, but also in this final Game 1?
I think so, because he's an X factor. He can be really aggressive, and he's a very good one-on-one skilled player. And he can attack to the basket. He's very athletic, so he can finish over a lot of foreigner big guys. And like last play, he just went on a drive and made a layup. If he feels good and then play well, that gives a lot of energy to the Chiba Jets.
Flippin, X factor, Certainly one of the best players, you would have to say, for Chiba Jets in the championship. He has been terrific. And here he is again. Gets into the paint, elevates this time, he's rejected, and immediately called for the 2 free throws, and Josh Scott disputes that, saying he got all ball. Let's have a look. Oh, no question about it.
Yeah, no question, nope.
Well, you can tell by the reaction by Ko Flippin. He just confidently looked over to his bench and said, that's 2 free throws.
And I think that when Ko Flippin is feeling it right now and then Chiba Jets is going to him, I think Utsunomiya needs to understand that. You know, Ko Flippin is driving. Somebody's got to help because he's so deadly in driving and then finish over. Make him pass and then make somebody else shoot the ball right now.
Ko Flippin gets them both to drop. Now Brex launching from downtown, and Tagashi rebounds it. And they don't slow it up at all. They get it right down low to Josh Duncan, who goes up, and Josh Scott rebounds that miss.
It's almost like they're playing like it's an aggregate game, trying to build as much as possible, even though it's a 3-game series. But, you know, again, Utsunomiya and Brex been really taken out of their game here in the second half.
Backing his way down low, missing, but getting it back, and then losing again. Brex, Ikaruga. So the biggest lead of the game for Chiba Jets, 66-51. And not looking like they want to slow down at all. Tagashi. Ko Flippin from the arc. And look at Gavin Edwards. Boy, that's where they've tormented this Brex team today on the offensive glass. Offensive rebound number 5, and it leads to a 3-pointer from that man, Tagashi.
Keiichiro, that almost felt like Utsunomiya NISSAY.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a little too early to say right now because they still got game. They still got to win one more game to win championship. A great Japanese.
I take it you say that's almost a title clinched. Is that what you're saying?
All right, so, you know, it's a momentum play there, of course, Jeff, because, you know, they got one shot. They got a good penetration kick out to Ko Flippin in the corner. They missed that. But, again, Chiba Jets, they did what they did best. They get that offensive rebound. It then goes out to Togashi. And, again, with a 15-point lead, he lights it up from the perimeter. And you can see the body language. It just felt like good night to everybody here. I mean, that is just a tough shot by Yuki Togashi.
Yeah, you simply cannot give teams like Chiba Jets second and third opportunities. They're going to score. You've got to box out. And, well, we did see Ryukyu Golden Kings do a much better job of boxing out this Chiba Jets team in Game 2 and actually out-rebound them. But then it was business as usual in Game 3 of that semifinal. But that has to be, you know, going into Game 2 tomorrow, the biggest, I would say, focal point for Utsunomiya is to, they've got to do a better job boxing those guys out, keeping them off the offensive glass. Of course, there's still a long way to go in this one. 5 minutes, nothing is over. Where there's hope, there is life. But an 18-point difference that they're going to have to try to overcome here with 5 minutes remaining. That is a mountain to climb.
Well, Jeff, they got Makoto Hiyajima in the game, and they got to try and make sure they get him some open looks on the perimeter because they're down by 18. They got to get things going from downtown.
Yep. And also the game's not over, but Utsunomiya needs to find some ways to score against these Chiba Jets for today's game and tomorrow's game. They got to find some solutions.
Josh Scott makes the first, and yeah, so you know, they need to get into a better rhythm of certainly offensively if they're going to contend in this series, as you say, in this finals. So also from a psychological standpoint, you know, you would think that they do not want to walk out of here having been blown out. They want to make this a game down the stretch, get it as close as possible. Tagashi dribbling around, floats in, and Duncan with the rebound and fouled by Gibbs. It is awfully difficult to get the basketball down here. That was a nice dump. Nice pass by Tagashi. Chiba Jets have been good at the line today, 16 of 20. And Duncan has also been good. He is now 5 of 5. Relatively quiet game for Josh Duncan. Of course, that can change tomorrow, especially. So his first miss, and quickly up the floor. And the pass batted out of bounds.
Well, that was Kai Tebs just making a decision a little bit too late there. As soon as he got the outlet, he thought slow it down, but then decided after that to pick it up. At this point, you got to get ahead of Gulak quicker. Try and catch Chiba Jets off guard in a bit of transition defense.
Kai Tebs, you see the athleticism in his play, passes it out, and Gibbs not able to rebound it. Edwards collects it, and back to Tagashi, 4:20 remaining in finals game 1. Duncan, quick pass to short on the baseline, tries to give it back to Edwards. Here's Kai Tebs. And very explosive player Tebs, fouled by Tagashi.
I think that was a very good team defense by Utsunomiya. They rotated very well. They had a mismatch, but they switched back, and then they had baseline help, and then steal. So I think Utsunomiya needs to play not just individual, man-to-man, but also a team collectively help each other out.
You know, Josh alluded to Tebs being a potential factor for this team, and just in this little cameo here that we've seen him in this fourth quarter, he really does look like he could bring a different element to the team, much like Ko Flippin for Chiba Jets. And in fact, he's the one who's guarding Tagashi. Here's Tagashi. Tagashi from the
oh my lord!
Boy, that's a dagger.
Sugoi.
Sugoi.
Steps back. Good. Yep. He does have a little bit of moxie, doesn't he?
Yep. I think he's good on using pick and roll. He can drive and he can shoot. And I think if he's open, he should just let it go and just shoot the ball. But he is a good shooter.
Tagashi drives in.
So Gashi time now.
Yeah.
No stopping this Chiba Jets team right now. They are closing in on victory in game 1 with 3:05 remaining. The Tagashi shot takes it up to an 18-point lead. This is a team, a club, fans that are just so hopeful, so determined, it appears, to go all the way and to win this B-League, having come close before.
Tagashi's in the zone right now. And again, Jeff, we saw in the semifinal against Ryoku Golden Kings, he struggled very much. But again, one thing you know that you're going to get from Yuki Togashi is the high tempo. Now, I saw him play for Japan against Chinese Taipei in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. When Yuki Togashi is in the zone, there is no stopping him.
That is true. And I think he wants the statement that I'm still the best point guard in Japan, and I'm not going to give you to Taves Kai that you're going to lead the Japan national team.
What do we think about this? While we have a minute, what do we think about this Olympics coming to Tokyo this summer, and the Japan national team? KJ, you played for Japan. You played in the last FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament.
Yep.
Are you hopeful that they're going to have some success?
Yeah, I think so. We have very good Japanese players, and we have naturalized players, Ryan or Rashida or Gavin Edward. And we still also have Hachimura, Rui Hachimura, and Yuta Watanabe. Those two NBA players join. You know, Japan can maybe shock the world in Olympics.
We also know the women's team is certainly among the front runners to get to the podium. If not, to go all the way under Tom Hovas.
The Japanese women's team is very good every time. You know, they can really shoot the ball. One of the best in the world. And you know, they're not very big size, but they can play team. And like I said, they can everybody 1 through 5 position, they can all shoot the threes.
Well, Hijima makes the first free throw and gets the second one to drop as well to cut it back to a 16-point deficit with just under 3 minutes remaining. It has been an impressive game, especially second half for Chiba Jets, although they turn it over cheaply there. Hijima on the baseline, passes it, gives it up. Irakuga, good! Another three.
Jeff, the game is still not over right now, but that will do their confidence a lot of good, definitely going into the second game. But look, 13 points, all they need to do is keep getting stuff after stuff right now. And there you go.
Yeah, you're going to expect a Jets timeout here. And Kai Tevz, just a little too fancy there. Maybe needs to potentially just go for the drive, but they'll keep it at this end. And Atsushi Ono must be thinking about getting a timeout if they get a basket on this trip down the floor. Rossiter.
There's that step back.
And it's short. Sometimes it's just not your day, and it hasn't been the day of Ryan Rossiter, who has 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 of 13 from the floor. Shorter into the paint. And Gibbs fouled by Gavin Edwards with 1:45 remaining.
That was very unnecessary foul. You know, they're in a bonus. Utsunomiya can score points, not shot clock moving. That was a very smart move by Gavin Edwards.
Oh boy, Gibbs misses the free throw. Yeah, I mean, we've really seen the worst of the Chiba Jets here in this last minute or so.
It's also not bad. It's not bad for the Brex as well, because they can give one foul away before getting in the penalty, which means they can also gamble a little bit here too.
He tries to get it across midcourt. He does. Shorter. Endo fouls Shorter with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
That's a bad foul to give away, especially when you had one to give away before putting him in the penalty. But now Utsunomiya Brex could probably throw a couple of double teams here and try and force him into a turnover.
They could possibly trap Tagashi in midcourt, but they don't come up. Now Tevz has to play defense on the Japan national team point guard, and he blows right past him. Good job by Gibbs to challenge the shot, but Duncan is there to clean up the mess. And
Jeff, they did the hard part. They got the help side there to force Togashi into a bad shot, but again, they don't box out. And then now they're giving away an M1. It's a poor defensive play by Utsunomiya Brex.
Yeah, Hijima needs to box out a little stronger. to prevent him getting rebound. And now Jeff Gibbs saying, if I help, I'll get my man get offensive rebounds. So I'm not going to go and help. That just creates bad, contagious flow.
Well, it was looking a little better for Brex until that last possession, and here is Tev. Boy, he has got some slick moves in his game. About as smooth as they come, but too little too late from him. Chiba Jets close in on victory, leading by 13 points. Tev doesn't foul, shorter. Just allowed him to go past him far too easily. Josh Duncan benefits. And now the kick and the basketball goes over this way. It'll go this way, and Gibbs, his appeals are going to fall on deaf ears. Yeah, his foot rolled across the ball. They called it a kick. Oh, look at that! Goodness gracious! Are you kidding me? Gavin Edwards.
Keijiro, that is officially Ayasumi Nasai.
Yeah, that is official Ayasumi Nasai. Good night.
Okay, good night. We got it. Yes.
I mean, that's off the inbound as well.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. Gavin Edwards showing his hops on that play and perhaps putting some more negative thoughts into the minds of Utsunomiya Brex. It has been a convincing win. Raita and Kaho checks into the game, and Edwards and Shorter go out with 47.7 seconds remaining. Teds gets around and misses with the left hand. He's got all the moves, there's no doubt about that on offense. Perhaps has to move his feet a little bit better on defense though, Tez. He's really going to make an impact in this Brex team. So final seconds ticking off the clock here. We'll have to attempt a shot. Ko Flippin drives in, another two for the high-flying Ko Flippin. And Tevz looks like he's just going to dribble it out. Well, it is Chiba Jets who draw first blood in the finals. They win it convincingly here in Yokohama City as they pursue their first B.LEAGUE title. They win it 85-65 over the Utsunomiya Brex. It was this absolute second half domination. It was a tight game at halftime, and Chiba Jets came out and really turned it up a notch, Josh. And you have to wonder about Brex, their mental state going into game two after that beatdown.
Well, as you said, Jeff, I mean, of course, Ryan Ross had a very, very tough game, and as we alluded to in the fourth quarter, Kai Tevz, for me, I think, found his confidence, but it was too little too late. The question is, how are they going to prepare for game two? I think the anxiety needs to get away from them. I think they got to realize, look, we were top of the B-League, the best team in the B-League regular season for a reason. We need to prepare now for game two. We've been punched in the face. Because also I think the fact that they beat the Kawasaki Thunder so easy, they've probably walked into this final thinking, we're going to win this. We obviously beat the second best team. They probably didn't consider Chiba Jets to be a threat. But right now, Chiba Jets have become a big threat to the Utsunomiya Brex.
Well, KJ, I mean, I'll put it to you. If you're in that team of the Brex, how do you bounce back mentally from that type of beatdown? You just forget it immediately? And
I mean, it's hard to just forget this game because it's final. And they're down. They lost by 20 points. And Utsunomiya usually the team that, keep the opponents under 70 and then score more than 80 points. So they didn't do a good job on defensive end and also offensive end. So they have a lot of problems, but they need to just look back and then see what they can do to do better. Second game, both ends of the court.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to you as we hear some interviews.
Yes.
KJ, but
it
goes without
from
saying
Ono, head coach from Chiba. He's going to get interviewed first.
KJ, it goes without saying, for them to have any success in this series, the Brex are going to have to rebound the ball better.
Oh, yes. No question about it.
大野さん、まずはおめでとうございます。
Congratulations on today's victory.
序盤から激しい試合でしたが、まずは試合を終えて今どんなお気持ちでしょうか。
How are you feeling after today's game?
選手が40分間ハードワークしたおかげでいい試合ができたと思ってます。
Play 40 minutes, and then it was a good game.
第3クォーターで一気に差が開きました。どんなところに要因があったのでしょうか。
From third quarter, you guys
そうですね、本当ハードワークを40分間続けたことだと思いますし、
play hard for 40 minutes.
意味がないので、また明日しっかり集中してやりた
If we don't lose tomorrow, that doesn't mean anything, so we have to win
画面
tomorrow.
越しに応援している千葉ジェッツのファンもたくさんいると思います。最後にもう一言お願いいたします。
To the fans,
今日もたくさんのご来場ありがとうございます。
Thank you for
明日もまた
supporting today.
選手の背中を押し合ってください。今日はありがとうございま
and
した。
please support the players tomorrow too, and thank you.
まずは大野ヘッドコーチでした。
What do you think about him as a coach?
では続いて
I think he's a very good coach. You know, he's a former player. I know he has a lot of pressure to win on Chiba Jets, but I think he's happy to get this today's win.
手元の集計ですが13ポイント、16リバウンドという活躍でした。
13 points and 14 rebounds.
It was great. You know, everybody came with some great energy. All the guys did a fantastic job, so we're so happy we won today. We're gonna do the same tomorrow.
本当に素晴らしい試合でした。選手みんながエナジーを持ってきて、本当に明日も同じようなエナジーでもう一回戦わないといけないと思っています。
サイズ選手はいつもハードにでも冷静にプレーしているように感じます。どんな意識でプレーしているんでしょうか。
You always play hard, but always
いつも
calm.
試合に臨んでいますか。プレーに臨んでいますか。
How you always prepare
We
yourself?
know it could be the last game of the season. We gotta give 100%. You know, everything we got. We worked so hard this year to get to this moment. You know, so we gotta come and give it our all to finally get this championship.
この1年間本当にみんなハードワークをしてきましたので、明日の1勝にかけて、しっかりもう一度それをしっかり出し切るように頑張っていきたいと思います。
おめでとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございます。
You know, it's interesting, Josh, from the very beginning,
では続いて
he had to
西
be
村選手お願いい
substituted
たし
out.
ま
He
す。
did not have an effective start, but he ended up having a terrific game, and it was a real game changer.
He's obviously very good at adapting his game depending on what the situation is. He can score when he needs to, but he can also play an effective role
西村
player
選
as
手、
well.
今日も第1クォーター途中から試合の流れを引き戻したように感じました。ベンチからどんな意識で臨んでいってるんでしょうか。
How you came from the bench?
いや、スタートからいい流れができていたので、その流れを壊さないよう
And
にと
from
意
the
識して
start of
臨
the
みました。
game, I think it was good flow, so I didn't want to break the rhythm of Chiba
第
Jets.
4クォーターでも効果的なスリーポイントがあったと思います。
And even the
相手には
fourth
ダメージ
quarter,
大きかったと思いますが、
we made a
あの場面
big
振り返って
three.
いかがでしょうか。
そうですね、そのシュートを決めれたのは、自分でも良かったと思ってるんですけど、まだまだ、明日もあるので、
It's good to make that
切
shot,
り替えていきたい
but
と思ってます。
even though we have a game tomorrow, so not just
西村さん、
satisfied
しかし
today's
千葉ジェ
game,
ッツ
but
はシーズンの終盤から
play
本
well
当にハー
tomorrow.
ドなスケジュール、接戦が続く中で負けませんね。どんなところがいいんでしょうか。
You guys have tough schedule.
おのおのがしっかり自分の
And
役
don't
割、
lose
仕事っていうのを
too many
理解した上で、あとはそうですね、もう勝ちたいっていう気持ち、
And
大野さんも言ってるんですけ
everybody knows their
ど、
roles
それがすごい
and
見られるので、それがいい流れを作っ
Everybody
たのかなと
has
思って
that
ます。
the feeling or wants to win
では、優
more than
勝へ
other
の思い
teams.
を最後にお願いい
But
た
I
しま
think
す。
that keeps rolling.
明日勝って、笑顔で帰りたいと思います。引き続き応援よろしくお願いします。
Let's win tomorrow
おめでとうござい
and
ました。
please support tomorrow as well.
では最後はもちろんこの方、富樫選手です。お願いいたします。
Well, Chiba Jets winning it 85-65 in Game 1
ま
of
ず
the
は
finals.
大きな一勝ではないかと思いますが、いかがでしょうか。
And some more words
はい、
from
本当
Yuki
にこの
Togashi.
土曜日の試合1戦目っていうのを大事に、全員思ってたので、まず1勝取れたこと、
And first game was
もちろん
really
嬉しく思い
important.
ますけど、もう一つ、はい、
And everybody was focused on today's game, but we had to win tomorrow.
しかし富樫選手個人には今日も厳しいマークがある中で、全くこう気持ちが引いてないように見えました
You
が、
got
い
a
かが
lot
で
of
したか。
pressure on defense,
そうですね、
offensively, the guarding
なか
really
なかシュー
tight.
トの入らない前半でしたけど、自分の役割、このチームで、
I
もうある
couldn't
ので、
make
そ
shots
れをやり続け
really
るだけ
well
だ
in
と
the
思います。
beginning of the games, but my role is to keep shooting
初優勝へ
and try to
の
do my
強い思い
role.
があるかと思いますが、明日に向けていかがでしょうか。
How are you going to prepare
は
for
い
tomorrow?
本当に2回ですか、この横浜アリーナで、悔しい思いをしてい
I
るので、
lost twice in
明日必ず
Yokohama Arena last 2 years,
皆さんと一緒に笑って終
and
わ
I
りたい
want
な
to
と
win tomorrow and then have a
お
smile
めでとうございました。
with all the fans.
インタビューは以上です。放送席どうぞ。
Well, it certainly
本
seems
日
to
は
me
日本生命 B リ
this
ーグ
team
フ
has
ァイナル
a
2020-21
really
千葉ジェッ
confident
ツ
look
対
about
宇
themselves
都宮ブレックスゲ
in
ーム1にご来
these
場いただき
finals
誠
to
に
look
あ
at
りがとうございま
Togashi.
したこれより感染症対策のためのソー
They
シャ
did
ルディ
come
スタン
out
ス
and
確保お出口の
they were challenged by Brex. I mean, there's no doubt about it. In that first half, Brex came back a couple of times from having trailed by several points, and you kind of wondered if Chiba Jets had perhaps let an opportunity go, but they really turned it up a notch in that second half. Well, Josh Bed, I guess with Utsunomiya Brex, they've had a great season, and they don't want to end it now. And I'm guessing right now what is being said in the locker room.
Well, of course, they got to look at themselves. I mean, again, I would have thought going into that playoff semifinal against the Kawasaki Brave Thunders that this final was wrapped up because of the way Utsunomiya Brex have played this season. But you know, Chiba Jets, with the high tempo they played, being very much a sort of I wouldn't say a selfish basketball team, but able to play with so many individuals. They've been able to really beat them down. But also credit to the fact Seba Size has done unbelievable on the offensive rebounds. That's a key difference between the Brex and the Jets. The Jets just go after everything. I mean, they are hungry. They wanted this game more. Question is now for Utsunomiya Brex, can they adapt their game and compete and stay alive for tomorrow night's big game? It's going to be huge.
Well, KJ, you played professional basketball in Japan for many years. And again, you've been in these situations where you face adversity like the Brex as we look back at these highlights from this Game 1 of the finals. If you're Chiba Jets, I suppose your confidence is soaring and you want to take care of business tomorrow. You don't want to give this Brex team any chance, any hope of getting back into this series.
Yep, I think so. And also Brex, I don't think they lost back-to-back in the whole season. So even though they lost today's game, I'm sure they're going to bounce back, and they know, and they're going to find a way to beat Chiba Jets. I think everybody is, watching the film maybe already. Coach is going to try to find some different rotations or play different, ways to attack Chiba Jets. But I'm sure this final, they're not going to go away easily. So tomorrow's game, I'm really excited to see.
For me, I felt like Brex were right in it there, when they turned it up a notch themselves defensively in that first half. And the physicality was there, and it just really, I don't know how you explain it. It just vanished. I know that Ryan Rossiter had a tough game offensively, but it was amazing how Chiba Jets just overpowered them in the second half. And are you thinking, Josh, are they going to be able to compete with them on the glass tomorrow? I'm guessing that is priority number one. And the coach is telling him right now, it's like we cannot allow Size and Gavin Edwards to dominate us, to get a combined 11 offensive rebounds, or we've got no chance. We've got to be out. We've got to be more competitive on the glass.
Oh, no doubt about it, Jeff. I mean, look, the Ryoko Golden Kings had the same situation in Game 1, the semifinal. They got punched right in the mouth by the Chiba Jets with the physicality of the offensive rebounds. But Game 2, they turned it up. They came out the runway in the first quarter of that Game 2 and literally said, okay, hey, you're not going to beat us up this time. We're going to make this a series. We're talking about the team that's been the best team in the B-League. Remember, the conference that they're in is the strongest conference. They know it's going to be a big test for them. Now, okay, Drew, you made a big point. They've never lost back-to-back games, okay? They've never been in this situation. But there's a reason that they were the best team this season. So no doubt we're going to see a different Utsunomiya Brex in Game 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, I always want to see Japanese guy like Hijima. He's the best Japanese player in Utsunomiya Brex, I think. So I think he has to show that he is the best Japanese player on the floor.
Well, let's talk about the backcourt for these two teams. Tagashi makes all the headlines, obviously, for how he plays and makes some big plays, but Ko Flippin was a problem, as we can see his ability to create, score, pass on his drives. He gets his feet wet and good things happen. And also Nishimura came out. The backcourt for Chiba Jets was much better today. And, we did see Tevz come in and make a difference in that fourth quarter a little bit, at least offensively. I mean, is there a chance that we're going to see more of him tomorrow?
I mean, I like to see, but I think defensively, Utsunomiya's mindset is defense first. So if Taves Kai cannot start one-on-one against Ko Flippin or Togashi, I mean, it's kind of hard for Anzai head coach to use him.
That's a great example. Look at that. Togashi goes right past him, and after taking the shot clock down. So that's where Tevz has to earn his minutes. But yeah, it's lots of questions being asked of this team, and for my money, really, this is Chiba Jets. Obviously, it's their series to go out and win now, having taken Game 1, and that steely determination to get that first B.LEAGUE title. That probably has to be the play of the game right there. That inbounds pass that Gavin Edwards threw down. Wow, breathtaking stuff. So here in Yokohama City, 85-65, Chiba Jets win it over Utsunomiya Brex to take Game 1 of the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals, and the Jets fans can sit back and savor the victory, no doubt thinking about what they're going to go and have for dinner now here in the late afternoon, and come back strong tomorrow. They have been starved for that title, and they certainly don't want the ghosts of the past to rear their unwanted heads here in Yokohama City, as Tagashi alluded to. It's been a great season. It's been a difficult season with the coronavirus pandemic, yet the B.LEAGUE has continued to have the games, and they've done a fantastic job. Everybody involved, and again, when 4,678 fans allowed to watch today's game, and at least for that first half, it was quite a throwdown, but it was one-way traffic in the second half as Chiba Jets got to grips with it. Any more thoughts from you, Josh?
Jeff, I think one of the key players that's going to be in Game 2 for the Chiba Jets, we've alluded to how great he's been, is Ko Flippin. I mean, the kind of style that he plays coming off the bench, it reminds me, not similar basketball style, but the impact he has coming off the bench is something like the great Theo Papaloukas, one of the greatest facilitators for the teams that he played on. For me, Ko Flippin is a franchise player on any other team in the B-League. But because he's on a championship title team, he's coming off the bench. But the way he's doing coming off the bench is phenomenal. The energy, the ability to shoot, the ability to get to the basket. So I think in Game 2, he is going to be a big, big X factor, as he's been in all the games so far here in the playoffs.
As you look at those stats, 1 more 3 for Chiba Jets. Obviously, the rebounding we talked about, it was a pure domination for them. And one other thing that you would have to say about Ko Flippin is defensively. I mean, he makes things happen for the Chiba Jets. So very interesting player. And Keijiro, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like if you're the coach, if you're Coach Anzai of Utsunomiya Brex and you're talking with your assistant coaches and you're writing things on the bulletin board, you have so many points that you have to address after this game if your team is going to have some success. But, you say that it has to start on the defensive end, and you play good defense, you get into transition, you get some easier baskets. What else can you say, and what is he telling his team right now?
Like energy, I guess. Chiba Jets has more energy today, and they are more hungry, like everybody said. Brex didn't have that, I guess, from the beginning of the game. Tomorrow they're gonna be hungrier, and I think Peak didn't play well, I guess, today. Here was a little foul trouble in the beginning. He didn't shoot the ball very well. For him, I think he's also one of the playmaker in Utsunomiya Brex. When he's out of the game, Ryan or the Hiejima or the only two players that can create offense. And Peak is the one that can post up, shoot the ball well, and also create. So we need another option for Utsunomiya to score points. So I think he's going to be the key for tomorrow's game.
And of course, that graphic wasn't quite correct. Josh Scott actually had 18 points today to lead the Brex, and but it's a lot of work back to the drawing board for this team to contend with this Chiba Jets team that had 4 players in double digits today. Josh Duncan actually started slow but finished as the team's second leading scorer with 14 points. Gavin Edwards had 15, including that sensational alley-oop dunk off the out-of-bounds pass. So, as you look at the B-League Championship, the championship, the road to the finals, and you can see that Chiba Jets have just been ticking them off. Of course, they beat Ryukyu Golden Kings, and they have been motoring their way here into the final, and they've gotten a great start. So here are the games. Game 2 tomorrow tips off at 3 p.m. local time, and if there is a game 3, well, that'll tip off at 7:05 local time, 7:05 p.m. local time. So, again, thanks very much to everybody for watching Game 1, and it's been very insightful stuff from you, KJ, today, as well as you, Josh, particularly with your skills in the Japanese language. And again, here's some timing for the B-League Award Show. You can see day 1, 6:30 p.m., day 2, also at 6:30 p.m. KJ, who do you think is going to get the MVP this season for the B-League?
That's a very tough question. Togashi is playing very well. Yeah, it's going to be tough. There are a lot of American players in B-League play really, really well. A lot of triple doubles throughout the season. Kanamaru from Seahorse Mikawas is always play well. So it's going to be tough, but maybe I think Togashi, my opinion.
Well, again, folks, 85 to 65, Chiba Jets win it and take game 1 of this finals here in the B-League, and it's back to the drawing board for Utsunomiya Brex. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us for this thrilling action, and I dare say it's going to be some good stuff to watch tomorrow as well, is Utsunomiya Brex attempt to stay in this finals and force a game 3. But Chiba Jets, hungry for that first championship. They come out and get a terrific overall performance really on both ends of the floor from a whole cast of characters. They win it 85-65. They draw first blood in the B-League Finals. So thanks for watching, everybody.